everyone, I'm Mandy-Lynn Donovan, your host of Port City Personalities here in St. Awesome. I want to thank my last guests that were on. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. I'm so excited about this upcoming season. We have some really, really amazing, awesome guests. And I thought there's no better way than to start St. Awesome with somebody super awesome that has some great shows coming up here in the community. Let's get the show started, everyone. We're starting with Nikki Payne. Nikki, how are you today?
I'm terrible.
Why?
Terrible because you won't get me a ring light. You keep making me go on your show, and then I don't have proper lighting, and then I get out like my night light, and apparently this is not good enough. Apparently your technician thinks this is Mariah Carey level.
Okay,
I want a ring light for Christmas.
Yes, ma'am. It's coming in right away. We're so sorry. We'll work that into the budget.
Right. So I didn't expect that. Never.
Although I am appreciating the china behind you. Talk me through that.
My fine china.
Mm-hmm.
This is my fine china that I got at an estate sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dead people china. And but my teapot I got in a cute little store in Moncton, and it has a little bird on the top. The handle's a little bird. Do you want me to get it out?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna make your technician lose his mind.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. So while you're getting that out, we'll
panic attack right now.
While we're getting
So
okay.
This is my tea. You've had tea out of this teapot.
Yes, I have.
And that's the little, where's the thing? Technology, right? Because I see myself, people at home,
can see it.
I see myself down here in the corner. Right? So I think that's where I gotta go, but no, I gotta go all the way over here
and
to show you the little bird.
Oh my, and what's the bird's name?
I don't know. You can name him.
I don't know what you want to call him. Ringworm?
Mandy-Lynn.
Okay, done.
Done. This piece I found in a pile of garbage when I was clearing land.
Yes. Wow.
So that's fun.
That's amazing. That's a castle in Shediac?
Probably. It's probably the Jean Coutu now. But it was a castle in Shediac. Okay, now this is the dead person china that I got.
Oh my God.
The pattern. The pattern is it's made in England. It's called the Regal.
Okay.
And I was watching a show on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And the detective went into a house of ill repute. Can I say that?
That's too big a word, but yeah.
Ladies of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies of the night, a house of the ladies of the night, and this was the china that they had. So I have lady of the evening china.
Okay, very exquisite, of course, very appropriate.
Yes. So I don't know what the mayor was up to, but
so talk about estate sale. Let's talk a minute about estate sales, because you know I'm crazy about them. And
you love buying dead people stuff. But weird dead people stuff. Like I get china, like I get grown-up things. She buys dog costumes, which I don't even know why that would be in this. I've never seen dog costumes at an estate sale, and kind of racist dog costumes.
So what's the weirdest estate sale thing that you've ever got? I don't think it's just me.
A dog costume. A dog costume. Because you gave it to me. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not, no, it's culturally insensitive. I'm not putting my dog in that. So I gave it to my mom.
So what about, I think you got something else from an estate sale also from your sweet little godson, AKA my son.
I did. I got wind chimes that are very loud.
And
My
do you remember what
neighbors
estate they
love
came from?
those. You're so happy with the chimes, the industrial sized chimes.
But do you remember where they came from? They have a story.
Dude, can I say?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not really an estate sale though, if they're all alive. Wow, one of them isn't. Are they gonna be able to air this?
Yeah, of course.
I already said like racist dog costume. And now I'm gonna say it was an Irving no, it wasn't Irving. It was what's the other rich bunch? And there's only two rich people in
Dennis Olin.
Olin. Yeah, it was the old Olin house after their divorce. So that's not really an estate sale. That's a divorce sale.
Yeah, a divorce sale. I think that's what I know. A divorce sale from that. Yeah, exactly. And so that's
sad yard sale.
Is that what the sign reads when you go there?
I think that's
Yeah. So yeah, it was alleged. Well,
it wasn't an alleged divorce. They really did get divorced. It's the other thing that I haven't even talked about.
Yeah.
That no one did it.
So you're ready for Halloween?
What is that?
This is a pumpkin right out of the garden.
It's a terrible shaped pumpkin. It looks more like a squash.
It does. It's a squash pumpkin, or it is absolutely. Are you ready?
Are you gonna cut that? Or are you gonna make a face on that?
I'm gonna carve it while we talk right now. I'm gonna carve it while we're doing it, while we're sitting.
All right. You're gonna cut yourself.
You know my coordination.
You're gonna cut yourself on TV.
Now
we have racist dog costume,
alleged
divorce,
alleged,
and now blood. This is gonna be a hit show.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome. So so talk me through October. I know you have a lot of upcoming shows. So I wanted to touch on that. What's going on with you this month?
You and I are going to February, Fredericton on Thursday. That's why I have my jammies on, because I'm going to bed right after this, because I'm going to be with her for like 3 days straight. I'm not going to get any sleep. And so I need to get all my sleep in now. We're going to be at the Delta in Fredericton. I'm going to tell some jokes. Are you telling jokes?
Yes.
You're going to tell jokes too?
I think I'll host, yeah.
Then we're going to spend the night there. And then
are we staying up late?
I would like to go to the art gallery. I've never been to the art gallery before.
I have a paintbrush I got a paint set that I got from an estate sale. It's perfect.
We're not allowed to paint on the art.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
That'll get us arrested.
Yeah. Okay. I won't bring that.
We'll go and we'll look at art.
Okay.
And we'll point at art. We'll talk about art. And then we'll head to St. John. Because on Friday and Saturday, I got shows at Punchlines. Are you going to do shows on that show?
Hosting both, yeah.
And I think tickets are getting pretty tight on those ones, aren't they?
Yeah, so the VIP is sold out for Friday and Saturday night. Those sold out right away. And we just have a handful of tickets.
I don't know who's VIP at my show. Me. I don't show up. VIP. What do they get if you're a VIP?
You get a special exquisite view from the side, and you're tucked away from everybody running past with drinks.
Okay. Good.
You're not next to the bathroom or anything. You're just, and maybe you're out of the way of heckling or being heckled.
All right. Okay. So you'll have to sit by the toilet.
Yep.
Now, because you didn't get your tickets on time. So
toilet tickets.
Now you get toilet seats. You could make up your mind if you wanted to go to the Nikki Payne show or watch Netflix. So now you're sitting by the.
You're just jealous because you'd rather be watching Netflix than being at your own show. Don't say it to us like that.
I picked the wrong career. In my 20s, I was like, yeah, midnight, tell jokes late into the night. And now I'm 46 and I'm like, I want tea and toast. And go to bed.
But that's not true. You've been on a big health kick, and I think that that's phenomenal.
I
So
have.
talk
I
about
have. I'm
that.
trying to lose a little weight. I got some COVID, a little bit of COVID chin going on there.
I'm gonna get in so we can see.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. A little closer. There we go. Yep. Okay. Yep.
I would show you COVID, but then I'd have to move the computer, and I can assure you the lighting isn't good. And that'll make your producer lose his mind. And we've already put him through enough tonight.
Yeah, I think he started smoking.
Yeah.
I hear the lighter in the background. Do you?
I hear him crying, weeping quietly.
A soft weep.
Soft weep.
Just a little. And then he wants to be watching Netflix too. That's why.
Just want to bring the community together on television. Oh man, how much time have we got left?
So 40 minutes of so.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Okay. All right. So that was our intro.
Look at more of my dishes.
No. So I thought we'd get into the crux of it, and then if we had time, the dishes. Are you angling yourself? So
I'm angling myself because I know he hates that. There's like a spot of light.
So I wanted
my big old head. He's like, can you move your big old head? Block that sun.
So I want to talk about before I go back. So we just recently had a really big storm, and I know that you're up in Shediac, and what was that like up through there? How did you make out through it?
Well, I woke up this Saturday morning and I was like, well, that wasn't as bad as Dorian. And then I realized, no, I can just sleep better. Because I looked out my front window, I'm like, oh, you know, that morning song, like that morning kind of song, you know, the beautiful morning, birds are chirping. I open up the window, there's a fire truck in front of my house, and they've got boats, like little boats, and I'm like, oh no! And so I ran outside.
Wait, what did you really do it in your Kool-Aid voice, like the oh no, oh yeah, like that?
And I ran out, and I was like, what's going on? And then I turned to my left, and the ocean is there. The ocean is like there, like just off screen, and like at my neighbor's, like it's coming up to my neighbor's house. And I do not have oceanfront property, but for a few hours I did. And they were trying to rescue one of my neighbors that lived further down.
Right.
That is oceanfront, but he was like ocean surrounded at that point. And the boats, because it was like ocean, it was like waves, right? It was like, and I'm not good with sound effects. There was a sea monster. And no, but there were like waves. Like it wasn't just like, you know, a little bit of floodwaters. There was like waves. And and the firemen were like, the boats aren't gonna work. And so they had to get like this big like bulldozer, like a big tractor, but that was like high enough that like the water wouldn't get up in the engine and stall it. And they drove out, and they got my neighbor and his wife and her little dog in a little carrier, and they got in the dump, and they pulled them back out through in the dump of the, you know, like the little scoopy part of the tractor.
Yeah. Oh.
And and they looked so tired and sad. So a lot of my neighbors got really bad flood damage. I did not, thank goodness. But my roof, then when that was all over, I looked over and there was a big chunk of my roof, like not the roof, but like all the shingles and whatever goes on under the shingles was all like ripped off. And I was like, ah! And then I got COVID. Then I went back into my house. No, it wasn't over yet, Mandy. It wasn't over yet. God had not given me all of his wrath yet. I go in, I'm like, oh, my throat's a bit sore. And I was like, oh, geez, my brother, like, contracted COVID a few days before. And I was like, oh, no. I go, poop. Oh, poop. No. Have to rip me. And so I did the old,
Yep.
pipe up the nose thing, and boom, I had COVID on the same day.
Thank God you had power.
No, Mandy-Lynn. I didn't have power for days, like 3 or 4 days, which is, and again, I'm saying that, and I was lucky.
Yeah, I know.
I was one of the lucky ones.
I know.
All right. My niece over in PEI, like a couple weeks before their power came back on. And and my house is still here. And she's gonna cover the roof. Mm-hmm. So I'm honestly, as crappy of a day that day was, I was like one of the lucky ones.
Yeah. And so you had to deal with all of that, COVID, no power at the same time, all of that. And so I can just reflect through thinking through COVID, being, afraid of it, all the things we've did, like even after we were allowed to be together, like people being around each other. And then, it's like, I know you personally escaped getting COVID this long, and you're very
I was starting to get cocky.
Yeah,
I was starting to think, maybe I'm special. Maybe I'm, superhuman.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Maybe I'll be the last one left.
And so
all over. It'll just be me and my China. And then I got it. But you're over it now. Things are good. Everything's going well. Over it now. Things are good. I need a ring light.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody that's listening, or if there's
I'm not doing any more of your Port City personalities until somebody sends me a ring light.
Maybe we can get a sponsor if anybody's is
there a ring light sponsor out there?
That's what
bang this woman a ring light.
And a hairbrush for me. Let's see what we can get. Let's slowly work it in. A ring light is coming. If not, we'll get you some ringworm. So no, bad joke. No, don't say that. No.
Unless your ringworms have little flashlights.
That are going, little helmets on them too. And little tiny helmets. So itty bitty.
No, I don't.
No, still not. No. Okay, cool. No. So let's start from the beginning. This is the whole purpose of today. Was I wanted folks to know who you are, meaning starting from starting from when you were young. So there's a few questions that I know some of your fans would like to know, which would be, what got you into comedy? I know that's kind of, open, but what made you choose comedy?
Maybe choose comedy. Well, I don't know. I guess I was in I really liked drama when I was in high school. Really enjoyed that. I was a bit of a drama nerd. And I kind of wanted to do Dalhousie had a theater program, but I chickened out and didn't do the audition. Mm-hmm. So then I went off to community college, and I ended up just, powered by alcohol, was suddenly just, little miss, woo, on campus. And everybody's like, you're really funny. You should do a stand-up comedy. Oh, and I was the mascot too. wore the
I
costume.
never knew that. I feel like I
You
don't
had
know
to
you
know
now.
that, Mandy-Lynn.
That would have been the first thing I'd remember. What kind of
I
mascot
was a mascot. I was the hawk, and I go to hockey games and stuff like that. And everybody's like, "You're really funny. There's a comedian coming to campus to do a show. You should pull together 5 minutes and do it before him." And so I did. And that comedian's name was Simon B. Cotter, and he is still a stand-up comedian to this day, and lives in Toronto. And he was like, "I think you've got what it takes," and he gave me a few phone numbers and a few, things. And then when I graduated from college, I took off to Toronto and started doing it. And I was going to give myself 6 months. 6 months turned into a year, then it turned into 20 some odd years. And here we are today in Shediac.
in Shediac? But you weren't just always in Shediac, so you traveled around.
No, I was in Toronto for years, and then towards the end, before I came to Shediac, I was kind of back and forth between LA and Toronto.
Right, and you also were a nanny for a little while, right?
That was when I first went to Toronto, and I was doing open mics. I worked as a living nanny.
Open mics don't pay well?
No. Hard to keep a roof over your head.
Okay, so talk me through more about life in LA.
Life in LA, really good food. Some really great restaurants there. I really enjoyed it. It was nice. It was going all right. I think I just kind of hit a point where I was like it's a new level of the game, right? When you get there, right?
Yep.
And I started to turn into the human you see now that likes to be in her jammies at 6:30. I don't know what time this is airing, but while we're chatting right now, it's 6:30 in the evening, and I've already washed for bed. The only reason why I'm not curled up watching Netflix right now is because I'm talking to you all. And and I was a little bit like, do I have the gumption? Do I have the drive to do it? Because there's folks in LA that have been there since I was there, and they're still chugging, and they're really happy. Yes. Right? They're happy, they're chugging, they're making it happen. They may not be big stars, but they're making it happen. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I have, to be all the time,
right,
anymore. And so I left, and then I was in Toronto. I was like, well, why am I in Toronto now too if I'm not, really all that into,
yep,
having a career. It's like I can tour from anywhere, right? I can, so I was like, another dream that I had was to have a little house near the beach, and kind of, in the middle of nowhere, and live kind of a quieter kind of life.
Sure.
And, because that was another dream of mine, right? And I felt like I had spent so much time on this comedy thing that I've never really, kind of branched out and tried to, work on some other, dreams that I have. And so I moved here to Shediac. I mean, it's a longer story than that, but I eventually found a little house near the ocean, a little too near the ocean during Fiona. But you've been here. It's, it's by no means a mansion, but it's cute, and it has a hobbity type feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Beach hobbit. I'm a beach hobbit.
You are. You real, yeah. But the thing about it is, so and talking back on to all the great stuff that you're doing now. So you weren't one of those people that just said, okay, this is my career. This is what I'm doing forever. So what's great about you, and I know this personally because you're my
I
best
get
friend,
bored quickly. I think that's my
that's it.
problem.
Exactly.
I get bored quickly.
Exactly. And as most creators do, but some things that we've learned through this is you decided to go back to university, and I didn't like it and I broke your ornament. And again, I'm sorry. And I'm saying,
I know. UNB, you've got to order some Christmas ornaments. It's making your students and
alumni,
making your alumni a little aggressive when they see that other universities have Christmas ornaments. So whoever runs the bookstore at UNB, chop, order some bulbs.
I heard the order go in through the bling. That was the
I know. Apple ordered
Apple charged your credit card $54.
Apple, it's Apple News.
For my
what? Oh, just happiness.
You say it with such conviction. Oh, yeah. Just happiness.
Inflation.
Yes.
Hasn't gone down yet. And Russia says that Ukraine's making a dirty bomb, and Ukraine said, no, but I bet Russia's making a dirty bomb. So, and then Kanye is a mess. That's what my phone is Debbie Downer. My phone just makes little bleeps to tell me horrible stuff going on in the world.
Little shit, it's a little blip, things of
everything's still terrible.
And I remember there was a time
we're still doomed.
That reminds me back to like mid-pandemic where we were both just over the news, where you would take a week and you'd bring the news to me of only what I needed. I'd go back because we just didn't want to consume so much of it during that time. So it was just a lot. So when you started doing comedy and you started doing TV, you did really phenomenally well in that. You've been in so many things, and I know a lot of folks, when they reference you, they talk about your MTV days, and then also about your TV skits. Do you miss doing those kind of things?
It was much music.
Yep.
I miss it, but I'm getting opportunities to do really cool things here. Like you and I were both on we filmed the first English speaking comedy sitcom written by James Mullinger and Adam Lorden. We both got to be in that this summer. There's another project coming up. Our friend Nathan McIntosh. I might be doing a couple things with that, maybe allegedly. And so so I am getting to do kind of cool stuff here.
Okay, but touch on that. It's not even just that. So where I was going with that is you began university, and despite my jealous intentions of destroying your decorations and love for it.
I got another Mount Allison.
You just wait.
Christmas bulb.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to touch it.
Yeah, I'm decorating this year.
For those at home, she was decorating my tree, and she picked up my my Mount Allison Christmas bulb, and she goes, "What's this?" And I was like, "It's my Mount Allison Christmas bulb. Don't they make Christmas bulbs at UNB?" And she's like, "No." And I turn my back for 2 seconds, and I hear smash. And I turn around, she's like, "Oh, I dropped it." And I called her a word that I'm probably not allowed to say on here. And jealous.
Or maybe it's because I slipped on your 6 DVDs of ab workouts that were still in the wrappers that was in the tree box.
I didn't know what to do with them, Mandy. I don't want to work out my abs. Do I look like somebody that wants to work out her abs?
No, ma'am.
I've gone on TV with no makeup. My hair is pulled back. This is probably a lighting problem right now. Reflecting off my 5 head. I got some DVDs, some exercise DVDs. I didn't know what to do with them, so I hid them in my Christmas decorations. And then Mandy found them, and she's never let it go.
You don't own a DVD player because you don't have a freaking DVD player. Yes, ma'am.
You've got to do a poll
Okay.
amongst your people
Okay.
that watch this and say how many of you have hidden stuff in amongst your Christmas decorations because you didn't know what to do with it. And I bet you like 80% will be like, oh yeah, I've hidden stuff in there. Things that I don't know what to do with. Brilliant.
It's just that piece of it.
I don't think I'm alone. Sorry for talking over you. I know we're not.
Yeah, rightfully
Oh.
so. Rightfully so. And so back to the creative side with the make sure you're centered. Yeah. Make sure we can see the ladies of the night Play-Doh.
Ladies of the night.
The ladies. That's why you're in your pajamas. You're in your ladies of the night.
The lady of the night.
That's where, yeah, you're not with your rooster by the window anymore. You're like ladies of the night.
They don't know what you're talking
They
about.
don't, we won't, but you did, so that's fine. So talk about the creative side right now. So what we learned about you was you're always wanting to do different things, create different artwork. But since you've been in university, you've been, no, you can't be sleepy. We got to finish the TV.
No, I'm just itching.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I talked you to sleep again.
I'm not sleepy. I'm itchy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Pardon me. So talk about being in school and what you've learned, because you've created some great, phenomenal artwork yourself.
I've learned that I'm old. And that my fellow students are young enough to be my children.
Yes.
And but they're great. They're really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I love being around young people because they're so hopeful and, you know, hopeful. It's so full of hope.
So you want to steal their energy. You want you feed off their you feed off their energy.
You feed off their hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy photography. Mm-hmm. And sculpture. I'm not doing either. I really like it, but I'm not doing either this year because a creative writing course came up that I really, really wanted to do, and I've been waiting to do it. Okay. And so it came up, and I got in. So that's what I'm working on, like this term and next term. But then I'll be right back to photography and sculpture,
which you're excited about. And so we just have about 20 minutes.
You want to see my egg?
Yes, we do want to see your egg.
Hang on.
Can we show that on TV?
Yeah, sing.
All right.
During the interlude.
What song do you want for the interlude?
Ow, it hurts.
Ow, it hurts.
Ow,
it hurts.
Geez, I forgot how heavy this thing is.
Oh, yeah, that's giant. It's so, I know, it's huge.
Okay, I'm coming.
Don't drop it. We don't want it to hatch.
Oh, God.
You press like that. Look at that. Hold it up a little more. Wow. Is that a dinosaur egg?
Yeah.
That is, so you created that. So basically, and what's it made out of? Is that like a mache, Nikki?
It's made out of plaster.
Plaster. Okay.
Yeah, it's made out of plaster. It was a big plaster square. And I hacked at it and hacked at it and hacked at it and sanded it and sanded it and sanded it until it was egg-shaped. Mm-hmm. And then I made a nest out of rusty nails and screws. That
is really, really amazing. And then, but you've also done so many other things. So you've wet your beak in photography, and you found that you were really good at that.
I'll go get another photo. Hang on.
Okay. Yep.
Hang on.
And brought to you this episode, Show and Tell, Nikki Payne and Mandy-Lynn Donovan.
Hang on.
It's just show and tell. And that's a fine thing to have. Oh, you're bringing the picture out. Yeah, that's a good one to bring it. That's a really, yeah. I love that.
I know, I would have had this stuff out.
I know. Pardon me.
Okay. So there's this. That's the dogs.
Oh,
the light
oh.
is there.
There's Emilio, super happy with life again.
Right here. And then I started doing this fun stuff where I did like I do embroidery.
Yes.
I embroider like into the photos.
Look at
So,
that.
like it's a picture of like a squirrel. Hang on, where's
Yes.
the squirrel? It's like a
Yes.
squirrel there,
Yep. I
somewhere in
can see
there.
it on the left. Yep.
And then I embroidered num 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 all around it.
Is that what squirrels speak?
Maybe.
Okay.
In my world.
Yep. That's fair.
Oh, and then I did this one where I dressed up super crazy.
Don't, that's for anybody that's watching. This is usually how she looks like when I go over.
This is a Wednesday. Wednesday.
Usually when we go estate sale shopping, that's how she comes
That's
in.
how I dress. You know.
That's how we get the deals.
Squirrel fight.
That's how we get the deals.
Squirrel fight.
Look at that. And look how you did the lettering. Look at that.
See, this poor little guy, he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't even realize yet that this guy is had it with him. Anyway, art.
That's art. So that's something that you discovered about yourself. And now that you're doing creative writing, Nikki, are you thinking of writing a book potentially, doing a movie? Are you thinking of a puppet class?
Yes, but I'm starting with baby steps because I'm really like,
Yep.
stretching out my eyes. I baby steps, right? So like before I do a book,
yeah,
I'm finishing up this little short story that I wrote, and I'm going to enter that into a contest.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just going to do it like I'm just going to don't jump in, bite off more than I can chew. And then as I go along and learn, I would like to write a book. You've been on me. So you get me a ring light, I'll write you a book.
Fair enough. I'll stop getting you candles from the dollar store every year to light your house on it. But do you think that writing jokes have helped you with that? So I know you're always writing. So that
because it's the process is somewhat similar. Like the finished product is different, but the process of writing is, there's elements. I won't say it's exactly the same, but there's elements of it that are similar.
Yep. And so, and there's a lot to be said in that, because I know that we talk to folks all the time and they explaining the comedy process, like, when folks go up on stage, how they need to be the boss, take charge. But then in addition to that, have your written material out, hear it, rewrite it. And I know that, you're very, very much into that, writing what works, crafting it, making it better. Right. So in terms of writing a book, would you think, is it your observation that writing a book would be harder than comedy, or would it be easier? Because you're not looking for the laughs, right? Because they already bought the book, so they're kind of in it.
I guess. Yeah, but if you want them to buy the next book,
exactly. Yeah,
it should probably be reasonably okay.
Okay, so if you did a trilogy,
I don't know. Because I haven't written a book yet,
and
and part of me is like, I'm like, oh no, I think writing a book or even writing a short story is harder than stand up. But I mean, is that fair to say? I have 20 some odd years experience writing stand up. I've just started writing short stories, right? So is it fair to say, like, of course it's going to be harder because I'm learning something new, right?
Yep.
So I don't know if it's necessarily. I think any creative venture,
right,
is a big chunk of it is just doing it.
Yeah.
Just getting over the fear and the procrastination and all of that, and actually just doing it.
Yeah, and just getting out.
I think that's the hard part. That's the hardest part for me, even with stand up, is the procrastination, and the procrastination is fueled by, I don't think I'm good enough, right? And this is gonna suck. People aren't gonna like this. They, yeah, like that voice in your head, that internal critic is all like, oh no, you've just been fooling people all this time.
Who's the voice of yours? Sorry to cut you off. Who's the voice? Like, if it was like, who's the voice of your internal voice? Like what character or person would it be in real life? Mine's Dan Aykroyd.
I don't, it doesn't, it's my voice. I don't.
Okay, carry on. No, we'll address that.
Why is it Dan Aykroyd for you? What did Dan Aykroyd do to you?
He didn't do anything. Just I need him to do the commentary because I can't stand the sound of my own voice, so it auto tunes into. When I say it out loud, it sounds crazy now that I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm judging your judgment voice.
That's fine. Yes, you are.
I'm criticizing your critical voice, your internal critic.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, carry on. So the voice in your head, not Dan Aykroyd, but you.
Yeah, I don't know whose voice it is.
Okay.
Beelzebub. I don't know.
Yep,
Yeah, you're not good enough. You fooled people so far. Now you're gonna know that you're a fraud and all of that. And I have not gotten any better over the years. Like that's a fight for me.
Of course.
I have to fight against that and go, nope, I'm writing something down.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, voice. Whether you like it or not, Dan Aykroyd.
And when you're so what are some things that you can do to keep yourself on top of that? Like because there's days for me that the voice wins, right? There's days that Dan's like, wait till tomorrow. And then I'm like, and then you got to push through that, right? So
I'd love to have some I could lie to you and go, oh, this is my 3-point system for getting past the voice, right? And it's like some days the voice wins.
Yeah, of course.
And and other days I just kick myself in the butt and sit down and write something. Mm-hmm. Even if it's garbage, just write it.
Yeah, I keep to a schedule. I like to keep a schedule for myself. So with my time, and you and me talk about this always, time management. So the key to success for me is time management. I can plan to do 100 things in a week, but the important thing is I need to plan to do 100 things in the week, right? To be successful at it and to know.
I love that you're talking about the keys to success with a woman that's in her pajamas at 6:30 in the evening.
This is really an intervention on behalf of Rogers.
I'm not even on TV.
There's a bunch of people behind me.
What do you think you need to do to be successful, Nikki? What would Nikki have to do? Perhaps she could put on some clothes.
This is a new form of therapy. It's a little sick, but it works.
She could have more lights in her house.
And so on the days that, how do you recover on the days that the voice wins? Is it you wake up the next day with that kind of mindset where you're like, all right, not today, voice? Or do you
sometimes it's a week that it wins.
Sure.
And then I get mad at myself enough that I'm like,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah. But do you feel the need to go back on, let's say that yesterday wasn't your ideal day and today was, do you feel like you need to go back to yesterday again and catch up from where, like, do you feel like you didn't pick up, or do you just start from then?
No, because time travel is impossible, Mandy. Do you go back? Do you have a means of going back and redoing a day?
Wait, so is this my intervention and I thought it was yours? Like on Shutter Island, I still don't know if it was a dream.
How long have you been time traveling, Mandy-Lynn?
So we're not sure at the moment who needs help, if it's you or me at this stage.
You feel like you need to go back?
To see.
I can't. Bet you're wishing Blaine Higgs had shown up.
So if you were to travel back in time, Okay. All right. We'll move on from that one. All right.
No, if I were to travel back in time, I'd probably just spend all that time trying to convince my poor sap of a self that won't get up
Yep.
and do the work that it needs to do the work, and it still won't. And I would waste another day going back to the day in past
Yep.
to going and then getting back to the future. No, it's too much work.
You can't do it just because it's a lot of effort. That's fair. So I have some questions for you from your fans.
Oh, okay.
And we have probably just about 10 minutes left. So the first question is, were you ever starstruck other than by me? But seriously, were you ever starstruck, and by who?
No.
Never. Nice. And what
Sorry.
Sorry,
I mean,
fan.
No, I don't think so. Not starstruck. No.
Like where you met someone maybe where
I saw Selma Hayek once.
Yep.
And she's way prettier in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like drop dead gorgeous in person.
Right.
Like, yeah. And not that she isn't pretty on camera.
Yeah, of
she's
course.
Super pretty on camera, but
yeah.
I'm saying like she's like pretty like in real life.
Mm-hmm. And what about in terms of working with folks? So you've done a lot of gigs and you've been a lot of places. So what about anybody inspirational or anybody that you've looked up to?
I worked with Hercules once. Remember the guy from Hercules?
Yes, I sure do.
Oh, what's his name?
Hercules.
Hercules.
Kevin
I worked
Sorbo.
with Hercules.
I'm kidding. Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I worked with Kevin Sorbo. Hercules. And that was neat. I worked with you.
Yep.
I've worked with James Mullinger. Howie Mandel. He's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. What did you and Howie do? Was this in LA time or in Canada?
This was actually in Canada, and we did like a big theater show, like at the National Arts Center in Ottawa.
Yes.
Like not just me and him, like a whole bunch of comedians, but he was there.
Can we tell your Gian story? Like not your story of it, but you've met him before, right? Or you were interviewed.
I've met Gian Gameshi. I've done his show a couple times.
Right.
And
that's nothing.
Everybody, you set that up. Like I don't have a Gian Gameshi story. I don't. Like,
no, I mean like of when you were interviewed, because the way I said it. So no. If you allegedly have a Gian Gameshi. No, I mean like when you were on his show, like do you have a story like of when you were on his show, like of your feelings? And because at that time he was known as like the more tough interviewer, right? It was before all of the aftermath of everything. I think that's where I'm going with that. All right, next question. So
no comment.
No, yeah, I told you not to ask it. No.
Like I went on a show. I talked to him like I'm talking to you, and then I went home and I wasn't traumatized. Okay. Like I don't know. Like you're making me uncomfortable.
You can't.
No, nothing. Like I mean,
of course.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, and
I found out about all that when.
After
alleged stuff.
Yes.
When everybody else found out, I'm not good friends with him or anything like that. I went on a show.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm good friends with you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So no, what I was meaning from that was when you had the opportunity to be on the show, that was when his show was big at the time. And so that's what I was meaning. And exactly by that. So when I think about, because when you're interviewing all sorts of people, and you've been on every kind of platform, and I know like that's one thing that you talk about all the time is like how there can be the epic fails with audios and things like that, and it's something we're always talking about. But in terms of what about when you're doing your sketch comedy, so those are the things like on TV, what's that process like if we bring that back to the creative writing?
Well, I haven't done sketch comedy in some time, but it's super fun because it's like comedy with costumes.
Right.
You would love sketch comedy. It's comedy with costumes.
Is that our next TV show together?
But there's much more of a, like with stand up, there's much more of a, you have to set the who, what, where very early on, right? So people know what the heck is even going on, and plus get all the funny in at the same time. So I guess it's like writing a very good stand-up joke, and that people need the information, they need to know what you're talking about for you to insert funny here, right? And I guess the sketch would be sort of more of a long form of that, where it's like you immediately they have to know where you are, who you are, and what's going on, like very fast, and but it's probably, I guess, more of a show don't tell, right? The more,
of course,
so I guess those would be the two big differences. But I mean, you definitely have to talk to somebody that does sketch a lot more, because it's been years since I've done like sketch comedy.
Yeah, and we just have about 5 minutes left here, and so just to touch on a couple more things is when we go back and we think about when you first started creating and performing, and I know that, and this part is kind of important, it's as a woman starting out in comedy and building your stuff. What was that like, Nikki, at that time? I know that great, amazing folks like yourself have really opened it up for everybody across the board. But, on a more serious note is, I know that, a lot of your fans, a lot of people that are in our circle just think so much of you because you've paved the way, and we're always saying, James and me are always singing your praises on that, because you've helped a lot of people go a long way. Talk about that process, because that probably wasn't easy.
Well, I mean, I've never been anything other than a woman in stand-up comedy, so I don't have anything to really compare it to. And when you're in your 20s and you're in the big city of Toronto for the first time, and you're like, first any city that you've ever been in your entire life, and you're telling jokes and people are laughing, and what? Like, honestly, I didn't at the time notice that there was anything wrong, right? When you're that young and that like inexperienced in life, you're just like, I'm here, this is amazing, right? And luckily I didn't have any horrible experiences. I feel that as I get older, I see more of the, hey, wait a minute, that's not really fair. Wait a minute, well, couldn't we do something? Couldn't we do that better? Like, not really in a like, oh, those men, that boys club, get them, right? Not in that sense, but in a sense of like, okay, I see that there's something missing here. What can we do to fix that? Or what can we do? And that's not even just for female comedians. Like, I definitely, when I first got here, noticed that there weren't very many female comedians. There still aren't a whole lot of female comedians. So I started teaching stand-up comedy for ladies only. And then it got so popular that like, it was like guys were like, well, hey, why can't we learn, right? So I started doing mixed classes, but the original thing was I want to get more women out there even trying it to see if they like it, right? And so there's that. And now I'm working with an organization called CanCom, and it's really in the early stages. I don't know much about them. They don't know much about me. So it's kind of that early kind of sussing each other out. But I joined because with them to help them, because they seem to be the same as me, is that I want to get some information out to younger comedians that I didn't have and had to go find, or didn't realize I didn't have until it was too late, or just never got. and things like access to money, like there's grants out there that you can get. There's there figuring out how much you should get paid. Like, I mean, because you do it for free in the beginning, right? Like you just do it for nothing as you're learning. But at some point, you do have to start saying, okay, well, how much is this worth? And start figuring out your worth, like not just as an existential question, but an actual, fiscal question of like, what is my worth? How much do I charge for 15 minutes, a half an hour, an hour? Figure out how to do your taxes, or what you can and what you should and shouldn't put up with in a club, like what's okay and what's not okay, and what can we do to make those not okay things better. And just, I'd like to, because I'm slowly kind of backing my way out of comedy. I'm doing less and less of it, less and less stand-up comedy. And I would like to leave it a little better than when I showed up. Not that it's terrible, not that it's in a terrible position, but there are things that we could be doing better.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. So making sure that we're paving the way, we're not just thinking about where we're at right now, we're thinking about where everybody is at.
How can we make the path a little easier for the young people coming up? Because Canadians were very good at this whole being funny thing, and there's a whole new generation of amazing comedians coming up. So don't get me to name one, because my brain is fried eggs, and I'll have to go Google. Don't make me Google. Don't make me Google, Mandy.
I will not make you go Google. So I just want to say, Nikki, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate you always stopping by on Port City Personalities. You helped kick off the show, I believe, and took over the first one. So I just want to say thank you so much. And anybody that is watching tonight, make sure you check out punchlinescomedyclub.ca. And then we hope to see you at the show. Tickets are still available. Just only a handful of tickets left for each show, I think, or a couple of handfuls, and VIP are sold out. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, Nikki.
No problem. Love you. Bye.
Love you.